The first thing I did when I was looking to switch out our plastic storage containers was to actually sell our plastic storage containers. So a lot of them were still in really good condition. They didn't really have any cracks in them. There was nothing wrong with them, and other people would be happy to use them. So I just cleaned them up, took everything out of them, cleaned them really well, and then listed them for sale on Facebook Marketplace. And I found an offer within like that day. So I sold them, and then I was able to have a little bit of money to use what I could spend on the glass containers. And then I shopped at a lot of thrift stores, and I looked on Facebook Marketplace myself to buy glass containers. I didn't have a lot of luck on Facebook Marketplace. You know how it's so hit or miss, but I'll continue to look as I add to my collection. I found a lot of containers that had no lids, so I needed stuff with lids on it. But we shop for things at the thrift store all the time. A lot of times I have success at the thrift stores for kitchenware items, but this time I didn't find a great amount of glass containers. But anyway, it's something I will always look for when I go hunt at the thrift store. And another money-saving tip is to use what you're already buying at the store. So we're already buying these glass containers, and these are perfect. Just take off the label. Don't mind the fact that it's so dirty. My children use this, and reuse it. We use that jelly container to store our yeast in our fridge, and it makes a perfect storage container, and it is basically free. We're going to be using this container with our dinner tonight, so I will save this also. It is glass and it's in great shape. It's perfect for food storage, and just make sure you save the lids because the regular mason jar lids don't work on these. So as long as you can save the lids, you can reuse these containers as well. So then once you've looked secondhand and seen what you can reuse, then you can go to the big box stores, or at least that's what I did. Some people don't feel like dealing with all the secondhand hassle. I understand it takes time and energy. It's stuff that I like to do, but not everyone does. So I have sources for where you can source containers from basically Amazon, Walmart, Target, IKEA, and then I found good luck in person at Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods. Those are all great sources. Big Lots is another one, but they have some really good glass storage containers that you wouldn't typically find in other places. Here's some that I got on Amazon, and what I love about these is, first of all, that adorable spoon. Second of all, the lid is nice and sealed, but also these came with these labels, and then I used the labels for all of my other containers. So even though I got all these different containers from all these different stores, it has more of a cohesive look because I was able to use the same labels. I'm saving these labels for in the future if I end up using them for other glass containers. There are some very random things on here that I will never use. Like there's one that literally just says dinner. So I don't know who made up these labels, but it just came with those Amazon containers. And I have to say, I'm so glad that it did because I really, really like how they look. I feel like they look really clean and classy, and it just helps to keep things organized and look cohesive. So while these have the little spoons on the side, those are from Amazon. These are also ones I got on Amazon that have the same kind of lid, but they do not have the little spoon on the side. And these are like a little bit bigger. It's another good find. I would say the glass is thinner on these than it is on these bigger storage containers. So just know that going into it. And then I have used these for a while. These I actually found, you can get them at Walmart and Target. They're just by different brands, but they're really the same. So they're only like $8, and I think this is a gallon container. Let me show you what people don't like about it. People have complaints online about these lids. I would say it is definitely a cheaper part of this storage container, but it's worked out fine for what we need it for, and I have no complaints with it, but it doesn't have the rubber seal in case you're worried about that. And some of them have like a cardboard, circle in them, and I've ended up taking that out because I didn't like it, but I think it works just fine for what we need it for. This is a container I've had for a long time, and I personally love these. I wish I could have these, more of them, but they are a little bit more expensive. I think I got them on Amazon originally, and it's really sad when you look at the price of things now in 2023 based off of when you bought them in like 2018, 2019. It was definitely cheaper back then. I could not afford to just replace all them with these, but I do love that this has more of a seal and that like locking lid. I think these are great. So if they're in your budget, I'd highly recommend them. Then for some things that we use often, I am just using these kind of like cookie jars. They do not have a seal, so you have to be careful with that. We make granola every week, and we go through walnuts like crazy because of the recipe that we use. I think it uses 3 cups of walnuts for the whole thing of granola here. Look, I have to make some new granola now. So anyway, I use these like cookie containers for some sugars, for my walnuts, and for my flour, which I'll show you next. These are my flour containers, and we use a lot of flour. I bake with a lot of sourdough, so I'm okay with having them not don't mind my dog. I'm okay with them not having the locking lids because we go through it really quickly. But if that's an issue for you, then I wouldn't use them. But we personally love these jars, and they're a nice size that they can fit a lot of flour. I believe they can fit, I can fit 5 pounds of flour in each of these. We buy our milk from a local farm, so I love putting it in these glass storage containers. We just take them right to the farm and they fill them for us. This one I love because it's got this flip top on it, and it makes it so easy for the kids to handle it, and just with like the spout, I don't have to worry about the glass as much. These are so nice and thick. Any kind of mason jar is amazing. We use them all the time. Here, you can see this is the broth that we just made last night. I use mason jars all the time for everything. I do have plastic lids that I've bought separately. I know that goes against the whole not using plastic piece, but I do love these lids in place of the 2-piece lids that come with the mason jars. But you know, you do what you like and you do what you feel comfortable with. But mason jars are obviously a great food storage container. I hope that helps you find some creative ways to store your food without plastic, and know that this is not about being perfect. It's not about being totally plastic free. We still use plastic for other things too, but I'm working little by little at getting the plastic out of our home and using glasses we're able to. And this is a big step for us to get all of our food storage containers into glass containers. And I was so happy I was able to do it without spending a ton of money. So I hope this helps you in your journey to get rid of all the plastic and to add some more glass to your kitchen. And please check out my blog post. I have all the links down below and more pictures and links to things that you might have seen in this video.